Hello, parents and students out there. How are you today? I hope that all of you are okay. Same with me. In spite of this pandemic, but still, we can keep in touch through this virtual platform. I hope that all of you are ready. Are you ready? Now let's get started. Okay, let's start with our class. Welcome to our virtual classroom, part 3. Because the topic, science process skills, is quite long. So, I just do like this, part 1, part 2, part 3. So that it's easy for you to understand all the things easily. So, here, let's go on with this one, virtual classroom rules. So, before we start with our class, I would like to implement this one so that we will maintain the good atmosphere as the class will go on. So as the discussion will go on with me. Alright, so there are 3. Be a good listener always. So you have to listen to me. And number 2, follow directions. So you have to follow all the directions that I will be given to you. So since then, and the last 2 topics that I told you, you have to follow these 3 rules. Number 3, finish the video till the end. So you have to finish it. Do not cut the video. You have to listen it carefully so that you can able to understand what I'm going to talk about. So let's proceed. So we already done with the observing, we already done with classifying, and number 3 we have measuring. So we have to study this one. What is the difference between this one to observing and classifying? So here. So measuring. Measuring is one of the tools in what science process skills, as what I have mentioned. So here, the definition, measuring is important in collecting, comparing, and interpreting data. So, sounds hard for you, but I will make it easier later as we go on. So the metric system should be used to help understand the scientific world. So metric system, from the word metric is measure. So measuring, using the tools, using a tool to describe an object's properties in units. So example of tools, we have ruler, thermometer, scale, or etc. Examples of properties, we have length, temperature, mass, and etc. And examples of units, we have centimeters, degrees, kilograms, and etc. So, but I will not use these all. I will just get some of the examples which easier for you to understand. All right? Because if I will be using all of this, I think it will make it harder for you to understand, and you are still in grade 2 or Patum 2. So here, the measuring tools, we have, I will tell you later what are those things. Watch this video as we go on.
Hey there everyone, thank you so much for joining me on this lesson where we are going to explore how to find the length of objects using a tool called a ruler. Now let's start by thinking about one of my favorite things in the whole world, food.
Ooh, yummy.
So let's imagine a sandwich that is 1 foot long.
Oh,
Now you probably already know that 1 foot is exactly the same thing as 12 inches. They are 2 different units of measurement. And if we cut this sandwich directly down the middle in half, we know that each half would be 6 inches long. And for this lesson, we are going to explore using a ruler that has that same length of 6 inches. And we're going to take a look at what the symbols and markings on the ruler mean and how we can use them to measure different sized objects.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the side of the ruler that's labeled in inches, and you can determine that by looking for the word inch, or IN as an abbreviation. Notice the large numbers 1 through 6 are labeled on the ruler. Each of these spots is a value of 1 inch in length. So the distance between 0 and 1 is equal to 1 inch. The distance between 0 and 2 is equal to 2 inches, which can be expressed as 2in. The distance between 0 and 4 would be equal to 4 inches. But what would happen if we're measuring a distance that falls somewhere in between two of these values? Notice that there is a marking directly in between each 1-inch marker on the ruler. And each of those markings are going to represent 1/2. So in this case, we have a length of 4 1/2 inches. Now, what if we push our measurement a little bit further so that it's in between a whole number and a 1/2?
1/4.
In this case, we're in between 5 and 5 1/2. The markings in between these values are each worth 1/4. So in this case, we have a measurement of 5 1/4 inches, or 5 1/4. And if we push our length a little bit further so that it's in between 1/2 and the next whole number, we can conclude that this length is equal to 5 3/4, or 5 3/4. So now that you have a better understanding of using a ruler to find the measure of a length, let's gain some practice using a ruler to measure some different items.
All right.
So let's start off by finding the height of this piece of candy. We can start by turning the figure on its side and taking our ruler and lining it up so that the 0-inch mark is aligned with the left edge of the figure, and seeing how far along it goes on the ruler to the right edge of the figure. In this case, this piece of candy has a length of 1.5 inches.
Oh yeah!
Now let's see if we can find the length of this inchworm. Again, we can take our ruler and line up the 0-inch mark with the left edge of the figure, and seeing how far along the ruler it extends to the right edge. In this case, 3 1/4 inches.
See, easy. Measuring.
Now, what about an object like a video game controller? Again, we want to use our ruler to find the length of this object. So we can line our ruler up on the left edge at the 0-inch mark, and we see that this object is longer than 6 inches. So first we measure the first 6 inches of the object, and then we have to measure the length of the extra space. To do that, we can slide our ruler over and see that this figure extends an extra 3/4 inch. So we can conclude that the video game controller has a length that measures 6 3/4 inch. So this should get you comfortable now with using a ruler to find the length of measurements of different.
Okay, all right. So we seen on the video that in measuring the things are very easy using rulers. See here. But the video showing the man is using inches, but this time the example that I'm using is centimeter. So in inches, it's only the abbreviation is IN. IN means inches and cm means centimeter or centimeter in Thai. So here we go. The pencil. What is the length of the pencil this time? How are we going to measure the pencil? That we can get the exact measurement of the pencil by using the ruler. So this time we use centimeter, and the ruler is 7 centimeter only. So that's an example of measuring. Next, we have an example here also. 17.6 centimeter or 7 inches. See, I don't know what is this, but it shows you about the measuring. So here, measuring the height of a person is using the stadiometer to measure the height of a person. So if you're going to stand there, you can get the exact height that you want to know. So stadiometer. And next we have thermometer. So you can measure also the temperature of a person by using the thermometer, an instrument for determining what temperature. So you can determine the temperature of a person if it is that certain person is sick or not by using thermometer. So this one is very familiar to all of you, and yeah, because maybe some of you there in your house you have this one, and also this thing. See, look at those temperatures or thermometers that we used. This one, these two, these two things are very familiar in our time today because of this pandemic situation. We use this one, the lower picture here, to get the temperature that we need if either we have COVID or not. The next here is scales or scale. It's only one. Are used to measure the weight of an item. Like for example, if you're buying something, you're buying rice or buying. You went to the market. You went to Talat to buy something like vegetables. You were going to weigh that certain object, certain vegetable to what? To a scale. All right. Okay. Example. We have here the. Okay, we have here. Look at that. So the women or the lady is weighing something using the scale. Next, here we have the activity time. So remember those things. One of the tools for science process skills is what? Measuring. So I used only very simple thing for you to understand. Measuring things has a lot of a very wide um, topic, but I used only ruler, stadiometer, and like scale for you to understand easily. You can actually measure things based on those things that I mentioned a while ago, and also thermometer for the getting the temperature. So this time, I want you to answer the worksheet given by me, given by the teacher, print and answer it, then place it in the folder and bring it when the class resume. See you next time. Goodbye.